We do have a massive program at Melton on Saturday night. Some really good horses going around. J-Bond, more trot races on the card than we used to, probably.
Yeah.
I think.
It was actually funny. I posed that question to Gurgery Sugars before, and it was the case, wasn't it, that trotters were considered second-class citizens? But it's not. I don't really think it is anymore. I would.
No, it's not.
I would like to investigate myself how much I wager on, per race between pacing and trotting, because I do get lured into the trotting, because you don't. It happens, but you don't really have to contend with, apart from what's up party time, the galloping and the craziness and the chaos and the anarchy, do you?
No, you don't.
Their form stands up.
It does, absolutely. But I know you are more of a pacing man. You always have been. It might be switching, but true. But anyway, I'm calling up your pace set of profiles here in the background, Jace, just so we're ready to go. And my odds.
Yeah.
But while we do race one, do you want to kick us off? The tab, we're on pace. What do you reckon?
Well, we for those that have taken in the entire broad spectrum of what we've done tonight, the introduction to the votes, Black Bookers, Magnetic Terror, I threw it in to the Maelstrom, to the mix of a money race last week on the basis of its run a couple of starts ago, and it was, in racing parlance, it still hasn't got out.
Yep.
From last start, pole marking draw. The question is, will it be a great positive? He's actually got good gate speed, more than Jack O'Connor.
Yeah.
Crime Rider doesn't generally use too much gate speed unless drawn gate one. Sweet Passion flies out, we know, but then Sweet Passion wants to hand up to somebody else. Will it be anything off the front line?
Yeah. Last time he drew barrier one at Melton, Jace, absolutely was in front for fun after a couple of strides and was miles in front, I think, too, from memory. Magnetic Terror.
And this is what I like about 1,720 metre racing. Again, I never thought that I'd enjoy the short course racing more than the middle trim, but it entices, does it not, Codes?
Yeah, it does.
It does. To say, I'll tell you what, I'd hand up or I'd take a sit in a different circumstance, but I might do something different here. Truly and honestly, I haven't. What's Herve got high above? I haven't looked at Herve at all.
Before I say that, the night it led easily, that was the night You Bet Your Tiger Pie worked around and Final Collect. You recall the brilliant night where everything worked out well and it won from the breeze. But it led easily against You Bet Your Tiger Pie, Terry, Nicky Nana. Crime Rider was drawn 3. It led for fun.
Yeah.
And then took cover. Herve Bet has high above $1.90. What have you got high above, Jace?
$1.60, and I'm being very generous.
Are you?
Well, I know high above got beaten, and talking about great glories and successes, he was defeated by a horse called Smoke and Ace last start, who was that was wonderful. But I just think high above has got plenty on these 1720. Yes, it might be a slight issue, but you look at that front line, nice horses. But high above's in a different league. So
you're going to make a goose out of me then.
I'm looking at this as probably more of a money race, or
what's
Magnetic Terror on her?
Badly wrong. $26.
Yeah, well, I'll be having a money race situation with high above.
Yep.
And if you can get something like $3.50, $4 a place about the pole market, I'll be getting involved there as well, Codes.
Yeah, I'm keen on Magnetic Terror to win. I could not believe the $26 that was put up by Herve Bet, J-Bomb, when I had a look this last night. Has to overcome the the short course, the bad draw. I just think it'll be under the odds. And
does it lead or take a sit on someone?
Magnetic Terror, I think it will. Let me just call up the
Sweet Passion bomber.
Yeah, I think Sweet Passion will come out really hard as well.
It'll hand up.
Yeah, probably. But I just think it'll be behind. Oh, you reckon Sweet Passion will cross and then hand up to what, Crime Rider?
Well, I'll tell you what, just very quickly.
Yep.
There was a situation with a couple of Douglas runners a couple of weeks back where everyone said, of course it's going to hand up. But I think the same people didn't post-race use their brilliance on me this time.
Yep.
There would have been people that would have said, well, Sweet Passion, with Roadmaster drawn off the second row, those same people would have believed that Sweet Passion would hold the front. But even with Roadmaster of the race, Sweet Passion did not hold the front. It just does not. 17-20, bordering on possible. But the only other thing is who off the front line would it hand up to?
Well, I'm looking at my maps. There's map 1 where Magnetic Terror leads and holds, and Sweet Passion challenges and grabs hold straight away and jumps in behind the leader. They skip clear of sort of Blake Bolak there on the pegs, and then you end up with Hugo Rocks ambling across and Crime Rider 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Scenario 2 is Sweet Passion gets across, holds the lead.
There you go.
Scenario 2 holds the lead, Sweet Passion, with Magnetic Terror on the back. And scenario 3 is Sweet Passion gets the lead and hands up to Crime Rider, who's flying. And then Crime Rider leads with Sweet Passion on its back and Magnetic Terror is 3 poles. No matter which of those scenarios plays out, I'm happy to have an each way bet I'll say on Magnetic Terror, because I thought it was about a $5 shot. You thought it was less than $26.
I thought it was 14.
And Darren Carroll this morning has come out and said that it's the play in race 1 as well. So I'm pretty sure we're not getting anywhere near the $26 that's available on HervBet, because we're all suggesting it's right in the mix.
You've got because of your pricing, you've got a different opinion. I would suggest that if you are getting anything like $3.50 a place, my advice would be if it wins, it wins. If he dies, he dies. But I would just be backing it to run a place and be done with it. The one thing from what you've mentioned is I think there's going to be some early heat on. If the one does want to kick up hard, then they're going to run a relatively quick first quarter.
Yeah.
And I just think high above will.
It brings it, it does bring it into play big time. All right, race 2 is a very, very exciting race, because we see the return here of Queen Elida and also I'm Ready Jet, Jace.
I didn't want to bring up Queen Elida with
Queen Elida.
I always think Queen Elida was the better than Just Believe. Doesn't seem that way. Here's some pace setter profiles.
Yeah, let's have a look.
A couple of them with the Lara J farm runners. So Dichotomy, record from the pole, 4 starts, 1 win, 3 placing. So that's 100% place record. What's it with? I'll get the HervBet for the pole marker.
Yep. So for the pole marker, HervBet Dichotomy, $26.
So again, 100% place record. You just back it to run a place. Exalted, weirdly enough, has not drawn the front row that often.
No.
And I don't recall it beginning as quickly as it did last start. Maybe once prior at most. 6 starts off the front row for 4 wins and 2 placings. So there's a bit of an upset about this race. Maybe an Exalted can win. And I'm Ready Jet. This is going the alternate way. Record fresh now with Andy Gath. And people, you and Dan Malecki could say, how many starts with Andy Gath like you did with Beck Bartley with Blaster Ranger? But 6 starts fresh for 1 win and 3 placings.
Wow.
So the record isn't great fresh. And Queen Elida, okay, you would have been on track. I don't know how much of an equine athlete you are, but Queen Elida you would have thought would have had a worse fresh record, because she normally turns up looking like she's had a fair few feeds when she turns up fresh.
Yeah.
So
if I could steal Darren Carroll's intel again from this morning on the radio, because I couldn't find the trial information in my trial file report that I do go looking for to see what Craig Rail thinks of the trials, J-Bon, at the trots. But Darren made the point that he was far more impressed with I'm Ready Jet's trial this week than Queen Elida.
Well, in terms of ability,
there's not much between them, is there?
Queen Elida's better, but there wouldn't be a lot.
Well, Greg Sugar said, I think he said Queen Elida, and really good to see the top mare Queen Elida and some others in the race. So he's got Queen Elida massively ahead of I'm Ready Jet, I think, based on that.
I'll tell you the one interesting thing about both horses.
Yeah.
Queen Elida's got the better of it if she wants to use it, but not when they're drawn off the second row. Neither of them are biased to want to really hunt through. They normally balance, don't they? So Queen Elida can stay in front of I'm Ready Jet, I think, early, particularly given the fact that it draws behind Exalted, and Exalted should go forward. Greg choosing to drive Exalted, I think it will get across. Then what happens, I don't know. Does Queen Elida get on the bike early and try and create big separation? I don't like the race, other than saying I believe there isn't a potential upset there, and particularly Exalted. Maybe even an Aldebaran Vera, who was disappointing last start.
Yeah.
What price is Exalted and?
So Exalted's $8 on her bet, and Aldebaran Vera $7.
That's not far off the mark, is it? Your thoughts?
Let's have a look from a price perspective here, J-Bon. I thought $8.50 for Aldebaran Vera, and one of the winning chances if there were to be an upset, and I had $12 for Exalted, and I had Dichotomy at $26. I think Exalted's a much better chance than Dichotomy, but I don't think they're clearly not yet in the class of the big two. The big two are first up, though, and hence I don't really like the race. Aldebaran Vera is actually rated really well for me. She's rated really well in so many of her recent runs, but she's going to have to do, a fair bit of work to win this race. She's
turning out to be a funny horse.
Okay, because you were big on her a few weeks ago.
No, I think she's got a lot of ability. I think that when you know her talent, I felt that last start performance was disappointing. I felt like her run 3 starts back where we declared her and she breezed.
Yes.
Reckon? Was that 3 or 4 starts back was disappointing?
Mm-hmm.
But you know how good she is. I've marked her shorter than $7, but I would want a slightly better price than that.
I think if she charges forward at the start and can get the top, she's a knockout chance. But I don't know if that can happen because I think Greg and Exalted will be there. And for that reason, I'll tip. I'll tip I'm Ready Jet on top from Queen Elida, but it's really a race I'll leave alone, J-Bon.
Queen Elida on top for me, but again,
right. Race 3 is the Metro Maiden, J-Bon, and there's one here that and this is, I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but it will. If I trusted the horse, I'd declare it, but I don't trust the horse, therefore I'll just tip it. And that's our Sadie K should win, but I can't declare it.
Oh, I know why you don't trust it.
Your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think she's just a mile above them if everything went right?
Maybe
not a mile above them, but I think in this race, the way it
no, because I don't actually know who she is. She's looked good a couple of times when she's just dominated them. But I think I was on her both the last 2 starts, and they're woeful.
Well, she's won 5 out of 10. She's been placed another 3 times, and then a couple of
it's more
ordinary
about
runs.
The recent right. So, am I incorrect or correct in saying that Jimmy Herbertson has been driving Yappa?
Yes, he has.
And Tiger Bandwagon's also in the race.
Yes.
But has he chosen to drive Kia Otto Beauty?
He has. I suspect, look, you can look at it a few different ways, Jace. He'll always get the drives from Ashley Herbertson. That's a tick. Interesting about Yappa, the claim doesn't matter. So that's interesting. I guess he has chosen it above Yappa. Maybe he sees John Newbury giving him more opportunities. I don't know.
I think it's interesting. I think he's at the point now where I genuinely think most of the time he goes for the best winning home. And it's got a little bit of gate speed. I had our Sadie K leading, but with a love bug, full of piss and vinegar, full of confidence. The 2 runs back from a break haven't been great, but I did get Kenny's Butterfly win on SEN at 350 on Betfair one night.
Yeah.
350 to 1.
Wow.
And if it leads Kiora Beauty, Kenny's Butterfly is actually...
Oh, wow.
What price is it on her?
$26.
Everything I ask you is $26. The other one that I'm interested in is Yappa. Because Yappa, if you actually just went flat out, like we speak about, look at this as a thoroughbred race and forget the draws, forget the map, I think Yappa's got better form than anything else.
Yep, I agree with that.
So probably not playing in the race, but they'd be my 2.
Yeah, I won't play. I've got our Sadie K on top, but Yappa and Tiger Bandwagon. Dangers, just don't like the draw. Yappa actually is drawn okay. It'll run well. I think Yappa's probably the one I'd lean to there. So our Sadie K and Yappa, a bit further out to Tiger Bandwagon, and then Pablo Rocks and Hugo Maguire somewhere around the mark.
Oh, Hugo Maguire, if the real Hugo Maguire turned up, it could definitely. But that's why if you're playing early quarters, I'd play wide.
Yep, Blaster Ranger too, not without a chance. It's just the wide barrier. It's racing well, but
I think I've got one. I think I might have one in race 4. I haven't contributed much yet, but race 4, I think I might have something.
All right, J-Bon. Well, I don't like this race, so you go.
Well, how do you say his name again?
Hephaestus Phoenix.
Hephaestus Phoenix.
Hephaestus Phoenix.
SP profile.
Mm-hmm.
$4.80 last start.
Yep.
Better race.
Mm-hmm.
From memory.
Yep.
Perfidious Sue isn't going to hold it out. Neither is Copacabana. People think Copacabana's got gates, but I don't know much about that. Illumong Lara J. We spoke to Gergery earlier. He won't fly out. More Wanted can, but is it quicker than Hef? Nah. Kyvelia Amanda can fly out. What prices am I getting on Herv about Hef and Amanda Hugginkiss?
Hephaestus Phoenix, $750. And what's the other one?
Kyvelia Amanda.
$380.
All right. I did want to have something. I did have something on Kyvelia Amanda last start. There was nothing wrong with the run. It went back.
Yeah.
Finished off okay. I still don't think it was as good as the previous, like early in the preparation, or 3 and 4 runs back. Hef will not start 750. If it was 480 last start, it is the obvious leader.
Yep.
Now the record over the short course isn't great, but I think it's deceptive. If it leads here, I don't think there's much pressure. It would be one of my. It's my value bet of the night.
Okay. Well, I've got 3 horses in single figures, and Hef is one of them. I marked at $550, and I marked 6 and 7 at $4.20. Kyvelia Amanda and What's Up Party Time. Of course, with What's Up Party Time, you just don't know what you're going to get. That's 2 horses from Andy Gath in a row that I've said that about, haven't I, Jace?
Didn't you think there was a glint in? When I asked the Candy Man, Reg, about Illumong Lara J, though, can it win?
It's funny.
He glinted up a bit.
It's so funny because when I first did my markets, right, and I mark it to 100% because I'm not publishing these, I marked it around about $21. I had a further look and I marked it into $14. Herfbet has it at $4.50, Jace, and the second favourite.
Well,
and then Greg's given it a push.
Greg doesn't give them a push too often, and he doesn't glint up. But
yeah,
I think it's 17.20 is the problem for it, I think.
Yeah, I'm leaving the race alone. 3 in single figures. I think every horse in the race could nearly win. I'm just leaving it alone.
First look at the quaddie?
Yeah, the pod quad. Let's get into the serious stuff. Geez, we see an exciting trotter here. We see a few actually that are pretty good, but there's one that just is clearly above all others, J-Bon.
Is that Derek the Jet?
Yeah. Well, do you agree?
I think so, but I'm not like... there is actually a market out for this.
Can I read you what Nathan Jack said of Derek the Jet this morning, J-Bon?
There's nothing I love more than listening to Nathan Jack's words, so please read.
Here we go. Words of wisdom from Nathan Jack. Play the intro.
Ba, 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 ba.
All right, here we go. He's got what it takes to go all the way. He's got unbelievable speed and he's quite strong too. I've been lucky enough to drive some really good ones over the years from Anton's team. And through Anton's team driving those horses, he said, I think this guy will be right up there with all the best ones that I've driven, and I expect him to win. He said at this stage, he's got a pretty good eye for where these trotters are at this stage. And he said, this guy is pretty special and right up there with the best that he's driven. Now, he's driven some very, very good young trotters, Jace.
Yeah. Again, I always moderate it in comparison with the personality. And Nathan doesn't bluff and bluster.
No, because he was asked about a few others and he was very honest, saying, no, need heaps of luck, probably can't win. Yeah.
But there's still just a little limit. He's $1.60.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have him that short, but he's the one to beat.
Yeah.
Do I think he's $1 million? There's one here that's at ridiculous odds, isn't there?
Oh, hang on. Well, there's probably a few.
So the tabulate, the green machine's got a market on this.
So I'm guessing you'd be leaning towards a horse like Kyvelia Michael or Remus Phoenix.
Well, I just think Remus Phoenix at 19, and I got a funny feeling in a year or so, Remus Phoenix will be pretty damn good horse.
Yeah, fair call.
19 and 310. I
Yep.
can't believe how short Thunderstruck is.
Well, I can. He's trialled superbly.
5.5 though.
He's trialled really, really well. He'll settle 3 pegs.
That's if Billy Zippin keeps up.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. I read another quote from Nathan Jack on a website, and he said, the question must have been, where do you expect to be? And he said, yeah, look, I think I'm hoping to be in front because I'm tipping that Billy Zippin will be happy to sit behind Derek the Jet. I don't know why I found that funny. I just did. Maybe it's because Zippin and Zippin rhymes, or maybe it's just because Nathan was saying, I'm pretty sure the pole mark will be happy to sit behind me.
Billy Zippin did win a big race. Yeah, I think he did.
Meanwhile, I just have to take my headphones off and you keep going, Jason. I'm just going to let the cat out.
Is that a euphemism? So there's a couple of other nice ones here. Geordie's still with us in the back. Now Coach is back. One that you had success with. I think Ikigai is a really nice
Ikigai? Yeah, Greg Sugars goes on.
Harrow's a nice horse.
Yep.
Penny is got a lot of ability.
Penny does have ability, yep.
And a fair bit of gate speed.
Yep.
The podcord conversation is going to be, I don't really want to play in the race.
Right.
But the podcord.
Right.
Hearing that from Nathan, I might have played against Derek the Jet just for poos and giggles, but I think I'll stay out now. But the podquad.
I tightened his price up off the back of that. I had him about $2.10 and I tightened him into $1.60. The more I looked at it, I thought, well, if he finds the lead, I think he'd have to make a mistake. And you do go back, and Penny's run pretty well against him. But if this horse has improved, if Derek the Jet's improved and gone to another level, then from barrier 2, he just gets the advantage, you know. So for that reason, and I also think that the Chris Lang horse Thunderstruck is a nice trotter, but again, he'll be buried away. So there's just too many things that are against the others in this. Whereas I think Derek the Jet gets all the breaks from the barrier draw, and for that reason, I'm making a very rare codes declaration. I don't often do it, Jace, but I'm declaring it 1 out in my quad. I'm all in on Derek the Jet. I think it'll win, and I'll be probably playing a money race. Maybe, in fact, no, I won't with the trotters. But
I might spoil the party here. I'm going to throw the 6 and the 11 in.
All right, so we'll go 2, 6, and 11. Well,
I marked Regus Phoenix a lot shorter than 19 and 3.
Yeah, I marked it. I got all carried away, and I just assumed it'll just, they just keep blowing out late when they're really good. They just blow out the door late because the favourite keeps tightening and tightening and tightening. I think it'd go around any old odds, and it doesn't deserve to.
No, I think it will tighten up.
I marked it $26 in the end.
Wow.
But I only marked odds for 5 of them. So,
did you get time during your hectic, heavy schedule with cats and work and other things to check out Harold Smith on the Harness Racing New Zealand website?
No. Did you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. I didn't get it. I had a look and I couldn't really work it out too much. So I just decided I'll be throwing it in a quaddie. In fact, I'll be throwing them all in a quaddie. So
I don't like this race. I'll give you the only little pace setter profile here.
Yep.
Is that Chucky's in love. Kian Chucky has won its last 2 starts fresh.
Yeah, look at that, fresh in capitals.
Yeah. I love it. Fresh tomato. Has this not got blowout written all over it as well?
Well, I've written field. Yep.
Over and out.
Yep. Really good last
pretty well last night. Great gate speed.
Yep.
Does it want to hold the lead? Hatchback's got great gate speed.
My boy, back to a good gate last time that happened. Look out.
Tweedledee, I don't think you can get past the 1 and the 2, but also has really good gate speed. And you know what? It is improving all the time. Yeah,
but there's a world where Hatchback leads and hands up to Tweedledee, because we know Hatchback can get up the straight and out sprint them late too, and that's how it can go sometimes.
Probably. I think it would be a bizarro world, but it's possible. Harold Smith. So based on the New Zealand gate speed, it has some.
Yep.
Trialled. King Ignites out. King Chucky, yes. I think we can leave Nephew. Much as I love Roscoe and Leroy Graham and Jimmy Herbertson, but I'm going to leave. Can we leave? What do you want? Nephew of Sunoco?
Puppets on it.
Oh, Puppet, is it?
You love Puppet too.
I love Puppet. Well,
J-Bon, I wrote
what
down.
An interview for the Gordon Roscoe.
I said Keang, Chuggy, Harold Smith, Hatchback, Tweedledee, Sunderland's Courage over it out. And then I said, I'll be playing white in the quad. And I actually typed this up. In fact, I've included all of them except Nephew Sudoku, and I've learnt that lesson before, so I'm going field.
I'm happy with field. Sunderland's Courage, I don't want to leave out ever again.
Well, to be fair, though, at least it's actually consistent now because that last start was pretty good too. So it's back, I reckon. Sunderland's Courage is back to at least showing something about... Like, he was pretty good last start.
Yeah. No, we definitely should have found him a couple of starts back now that you...
Oh, no, we've no hope of that, but at least he's starting to... Anyway.
Feels good by me.
Race 7, J-Bond?
Yes. Now, this... I might start getting re-enthused again here.
This is a funny race. Messy race. You love where Earl of Pembroke's been going. You love the gate speed. You love the gate speed of Jillaby Jack Sparrow. You almost love the gate speed of Jillaby Jack Sparrow as much as you love Operative Lion just in general.
Well, they have. I think you might have run past.
Captain Hammerhead, have they come out now and said, is it the Eureka bound, Jace?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And the best horse in the race, but hasn't run for a little while.
Who?
Captain Hammerhead.
The Lost Storm's the best horse in the race, isn't it?
Is he?
Well,
what's been wrong with him the last couple?
He basically I'm not talking about his last couple.
Well, you couldn't be. What about his even 3 starts back?
I want to pot him. He's been heavily backed,
right?
Lost Storm, but a couple of his starts early in his career, he's the best horse. I mean, he's won 351,000 from 20 starts.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm saying going forward, I think Captain Hammerhead will be very progressive.
Oh, I agree. He's in the mix, but he's now he opened too short, didn't he? So he's 250 now, drawn out there. Where does he get to? I mean, does he breeze?
Probably.
So
what's your map, Jace? Who leads?
Well, who do you think gets the peaks first based on your little poem?
Jillaby Jack Sparrow, and then hands up to the Lost Storm?
No, I think I'm just going through his form again right now because I'm having some sort of weird regret here. But Earl of Pembroke, you'd be happy to hand up to be honest. It's from third. Yeah. It's from third in a Horsham Cup.
Yep.
Second in a Cobram Cup.
Yep.
It's flying.
Yep. I marked it equal third favourite. Equal third favourite.
Cannot believe the price a bet. $16 a bet, Earl of Pembroke. That's
$16.
It's the best rough. If that is, it is true. I've seen it. That's my best roughie of the night.
It's a fair call at that. Yeah, I marked it. Well, it's your black booker, and it did nothing wrong last time out, and therefore it's ready to win. And it's a J-Bond black booker. It's drawn well.
There's also an argument as quick as Jillaby Jack Sparrow is off the gate. Stravinsky flies out. If he doesn't want to hand up to anything, there's a possibility he can hunt through. And who would it want to hand up to?
Yes. Yeah, hang on. Let me just call up the... Yes, of course. Yes. All right, I like it, Jace. I marked it $6.50.
I marked it $3.
Did you really? What did you mark the Lost Storm?
And this is the thing about pricing, isn't it? I've marked it $2.80 and I don't want a bar of it.
No, but you're allowed to because you have to be. You've got to be realistic too, don't you?
I'm trying to think about what is between my opinion and what's likely to happen.
I'm not
going to mark it $7 because I don't like I'm trying to. I want to market that price to give myself a guide of how I can bet around it.
I marked it $4.50 in the second pick because I think you have to have it somewhere in there. But I had Captain Hammerhead $2.80, which is no value, and I had Earl of Pembroke at $6.50, along with Jillaby Jack Sparrow at $6.50, and the only other one I priced was Cosimo at $8.50.
There's only one other that has blowout claims here.
Right.
Well, who's apart from Cosimo, who's the one that regularly races at open class level?
Dolagiri.
Oliver.
No, sorry, Helliver. Yeah, okay.
So Helliver's 19 and 280, and you just think to yourself, if you go through his runs, the figure form line looks deplorable. 08, last 4 starts, but none of the runs have been bad, and he's not chasing down the best of the best here. Although
No.
there's a couple of very nice horses, but it's not free for a level. So I thought he might be the blowout. What does the pod quad look like?
Well, I've gone 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But that's my conservative quad, to be honest. I've gone 1 out in the first leg, field in the second, and they're my numbers in the third. But
I'll throw in 8 as well.
But we've almost gone the whole field again, haven't we? Do we want to eject any of these?
Eject.
Eject. We're going to eject them. Take Fowl out. Ella Pembroke's in.
If you take Cosimo out, I'll take Hulliver out. Let's go 2, 3, 4, 6.
All right, I'll take it out.
Cosimo's going to need too much to go right here, surely.
Fair call. All right, well, let's go 2, 3, 4, 6. Deal?
Right. And Ella Pembroke, best roughie of the night.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%, J-Bond. Race 8 is this is a very good little race because you've got Rakiro Rebel, $3 on her bet, and Major Delight $1.50, and I think you and I both agree that's not quite right. I mean, it might be, but
did you know that Rakiro Rebel opened 420?
Yeah, I just wish I'd been aware to it, Jace.
So you when I say did you know, you knew, but post-mortem.
Yeah, I did, but I confidently had so I've had a bet today on Derek the Jet into Rakiro Rebel for a pretty decent amount, and I'm happy with the price of both of them. I'm happy with $2.70, and I'm happy with $1.60.
Well, I marked Rakiro Rebel $1.60 here.
Oh, I marked it $2, and I thought that was value $1.60.
Well, let's go back.
Ka-ching.
Let's cast our minds back.
I'm with you.
To the last time they met.
Yeah.
And Dan Malecki was on post that performance.
Yeah, Rakiro went straight back, didn't it, at the start? Great hold.
Yeah, Major Light got an easy lead. And Rakiro Rebel, Una Memento Por Favor, ran it to somehow, phenomenally, ran it to 1.4 metres in a 55-2 last half after being 5 back to poles. How it wouldn't be favourite, I've got no. Although we have had critical information, there's a very good chance it's going to be behind the leader. But I think either way, I think it'll run past Major Delight.
Yep.
Or it'll lead me. Best of the night.
Yep, I think it's the best horse in the race, and I think it's the best bet of the night too. So race 8, number 5. That is an all-out pace setters, tongue tie off, get on job, I reckon, Jason.
So for the quaddy, are we going 1 out?
I'd be happy to. Do you want to just ride home with that one, or is there a roughie you want to throw? Yeah, let's go with it. I'll just say this too. So what is $71? Again, I wouldn't want to back it to win, but I marked it much, much shorter. It's the sort of horse that must just keep being able to add some sort of value to first fours, unless everyone just knows that it's always overs and everyone puts it in the first 4.
Well, you know what? Nah. For trifectas, even. Yeah. Because I think on pure speed, it can be first to poles.
So 4 leads, 5 gets across, 6 gets across. If Greg hands up, and you end up.
I don't think Soho Historia we know is very, very quick.
Yes. Could be a spanner in the works, and then Shanlu I don't know much about. The gate speed.
Shanlu hasn't got the gate speed. La Belle Bonjour hasn't got the gate speed. Delightful Term hasn't got the class. So the only question mark is whether Soho Historia has a genuine crack early.
Yeah.
To try and upset the apple cart, the pink ladies, with Rakiro Rebel, but
yeah,
it feels like a single file kind of race.
I agree. We close out J-Bond. That's the pod quad, by the way. 2, 6, 11 field, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 5.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Gary Ablett in the last race. Number 9 is race 9, the renowned Silverware Pace, and I'm doing something I very rarely do here, J-Bond. Just a place bet. Just a place bet on one of them.
I'll find your place bet.
All right, I love how this works. Let's see if you can find my place bet.
Well, is it Arg or Clyde Menace?
Take your pick, Jace. You got to pick one.
Clyde Menace.
Oh, it was Arg. I reckon you were going to go Arg first. I reckon you made a 50-50 call at the end.
It was real 50-50. But I know you like Clyde Menace anyway.
I do, but yeah, I just think
partial credit.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's the first horse you named. I just think that Sweet Bella. I think Sweet Bella is likely to be under the odds.
What? Can you give me her here?
320.
And what? The Bay of Biscay.
180.
Yeah, Bay of Biscay will be about $1.30.
Yeah, I thought it'd be pretty tight.
Bay of Biscay's a moral. This is a good money race for mine.
Yep.
And so where do you put Clyde Menace in the mix?
What was it, number 5?
Give me your actually.
I'll give him
tiers. Give me your tiers.
Okay. So I've got the favourite at $1.90, Bay of Biscay. I've got ARG at $5. I've got number 4. What's that?
Sweet Ballot. My daughter.
$6.50. And I've got Clementis $15 and 7 at $18. And they're the only horses I've priced.
So you could have one basically 6 to beat, or you can have Arga Place, or 6
well, see,
to
I
beat.
want to go. Yeah, I want to go.
3 and 4 to beat 3, 4, 5, 7.
Well, yeah, but I always get too aggressive, and sometimes it stuffs it up. But I just play 6 to win, 3 to run second, the others for third, and then 6 to win the others and ARG. So I'd rove ARG and lock the winner in.
I'll probably rove. I'm going to watch the market here. The Sweet Bella's a really interesting, not your typical horse. It might take a run, might take 2, but I would go the more the road more travelled here and just go Bay of Biscay to beat Sweet Bella to beat Arg and Clyde Menace primarily.
Yep,
and then a couple of others.
Love it. Jabon, geez, we
covered some ground. I was going to say, if I was going to have, I'm not big on the multis, but I would say there were high above.
Yep.
You're not with me there. High above, Rakiro Rebel and Bay of Biscay.
Yep. I'll go Derek the Jet, Rakiro Rebel and Bay of Biscay. So, yeah, I think I can't put high above in. I don't know. I just can't. But, I mean, I don't know.
No judgment here. This is a psychological safe space, Coach. No judgment.
But, well, you weren't as confident. Are you more confident with Derek the Jet now after the end of the podcast? Have I won you over? Has Nathan won you over?
Nathan's won me over plenty. But I don't. I know his language.
Yeah.
And it wasn't quite declarative enough.
All right, fair call. All right, well, it's going to be a fun night. I am going to be potentially still on the road, making my way back home from Portland that day. So I'll have to listen in the car, Jace.
I was
to the Melton meeting.
Apparently, when I was a little tacker, an infant, I lived in Portland.
There you go. Did
Peter
you really?
Tompkin obviously lived in Portland for
Peter Tompkin territory. I'm making a trip down for a 70th birthday, and it's a trip there and back in the one day, which is extraordinary.
Oh, very quickly before we say au revoir, sayonara, as you look for the cat again.
Yep.
I think it's worth clarifying very quickly. This is supposed to be no BS, as you always talk about, and authentic.
Yeah,
we've had a genuine crack at different times, but I think we would both be very, very keen for people to DM, to tweet, to
absolutely.
If you got the number to give us a text, because I mentioned to you when we had a very tiny little break that this format that we have right here is fantastic in a variety of ways. Overwhelmingly, a great medium. But when you're discussing these big issues, sometimes I really do miss those one-on-one chats. So if anybody if anybody takes umbrage or they have an idea, or they want us to discuss something next week on the podcast, I think that's something we're extremely happy to do, guys.
Absolutely. Yep. Reach out, because it's all about discussion. And that's what we do. We're not going to avoid this stuff because it's no BS. We talk about it, and sometimes you'll agree with part of it, you'll agree with other parts, and disagree with this and that, or you might disagree with all of it, but it's all about ideas. And I'll stand by this. It's all about being constructive and understanding that at the end of the day, every single person in this industry has one thing in common, whether you agree with this or agree with that or disagree with it. We all love the game. And when things are really tough, I think people need to get together more than they drift apart.
And we can never, when you have that discussion one-on-one, you can get right to the bottom of somebody's particular issue. And,
of course.
And we may not have done that. Before I say goodbye, light blue's your colour, mate, for sure.
Light blue, you like it?
Yeah, it's setting off your eyes. You look fantastic. You look like a cartoon character.
Good luck at the weekend, Jason. Thanks all for listening.
God bless. Au revoir.